everybody, so today we're going to talk about why millennials are broke. And my nickname for millennials in the next generation are Henrys, which are high earners, not rich yet. At the time of this video, millennials are about the ages of 25 to 40. And the truth is, millennials, especially toward the upper end of the range, are running out of time to build wealth. Currently, millennials own 5% of the wealth in this country, but the shocking data is that millennial parents owned about 22% of the wealth when they were the exact same age. That means that they had 4.5 times the amount of overall wealth than their children in the same age groups. Before I dive into this any further, please go ahead and click the like button. It allows me to keep making these videos possible for you. So what is the real issue here? Why are millennials falling behind? So I'm going to go over 4 reasons. The number one is student loan debt. Now this is not a surprise to anybody. I had student loans when I was in school, and I've said it before and I'll say it again. The thing that sets most millennials back the most is their student loan debt. What I believe earns you more money is learning a valuable skill. You can do that through college, but you can also do that through a number of other ways that are obviously a lot less expensive. Currently, the average student loan sits around $40,000 per student, with many students well over that amount. And that $40,000 over time could have been used to purchase a home or even invested. And in many cases, it's hindering people from actually buying things once they get out of college. And college, of course, just keeps going up and increasing. Over a 10-year period, college tuition has gone up 65%, while wage growth has only went up about 26% during the same period of time, creating more and more of a hardship to get these loans paid off. With college prices increasing so much faster than wage growth, attending college and taking on loans is really a decision that you're going to have to thoroughly consider now and, of course, in the future. Number 2, credit cards and other debt. Credit cards were not always the popular way to pay for things. 20 years ago, about a third of the population didn't even have a credit card. Now credit cards are a commodity item. Everyone has them, and while they can be used responsibly, many times people can accumulate debt from using them. Millennials in particular have on the average $4,000 in credit card debt right now. These cards come with an extremely high interest rate, and they're really prohibiting millennials from learning on how to budget their own money. The third one is home ownership, and you guys probably know home ownership is definitely down for this generation. And as I have done for videos on previously, I think the American dream of owning a home is getting harder and harder to achieve. Home prices are skyrocketing, and the government is only making them increase faster with low rates and incentive programs. And now, of course, with all the construction costs and labor going up, it's becoming even harder. To put things in perspective, only about 48% of millennials actually own a home, while at the same time, the boomer generation, which are their parents, was at about 77%. That's a big difference. So why make such a big deal out of home ownership? Well, owning a home is a big deal when you are discussing becoming wealthy. There are a couple reasons for this. First of all, getting a fixed rate mortgage on a home will allow you to lock in a set payment over a 30-year period. That will hedge inflation. You can never do this by renting. Renters typically have annual rent increases on their rent. This locked-in rate allows any additional money you earn at work to be able to be invested versus going toward those rental increases. Secondly, most retirees have almost all of their money in their home, and that home appreciates generally over time, and they're paying off the mortgage each and every month, so their principal is actually going down. The average home has increased 32% over the last 20 years. That means when a retiree goes to downsize, they have increased their cash passively in their home by approximately 32%. Lastly, into retirement, that home can be paid off. This is a big deal for retirees. It was certainly the case for my own mother, who had not a lot of cash but had a lot of equity in her home and actually used it to pay for her next step. A paid-off home means you don't need much money to live on. As a lifelong tenant into retirement, you will need to continue working or have roommates to work within a Social Security budget. The last thing is millennials aren't even investing. And if you're not going to invest in something, there's no way that you're going to stay ahead of the inflation or become wealthy over a long period of time. And I understand it because they just don't have a lot of excess discretionary funds to do it, so they're not even learning. And to start, millennials are on a much tighter budget than previous generations due to these inflation versus wages. So wages have gone up by only 10% in the past 20 years, while in that exact same time period, inflation has gone up 44%. And in the last few months, it's gone up even more. So this puts a massive squeeze on a millennial's bank account and their ability to save to invest, because that money that they're saving actually buys less from a purchasing power. Secondly, the millennial generation isn't good at budgeting. Now, I wasn't really that great at that age as well, but I had to learn it. Previous generations had to save for things because they didn't have a credit card. But millennials can purchase something without having the money, making them more in debt, but also less accountable for their own money. Now, this channel, as you guys know, isn't about complaining and being victims. This channel is to empower you so you can become a wealthy millennial. I've done many videos on how to budget and learning on how to invest on cash flowing properties, and will attach them below in the show notes. While many of the millennials are broke, you don't have to be, but you can't put off correcting your financial future. These decisions need to start today. It is going to be a tougher and tougher road ahead for you in this next economy, and you need to understand how you can get ahead. Start with learning how to budget and save money, and then what to do with that money. I've attached the videos below so you can get a head start on your investing and your own financial education.